G'day and welcome to the second video on discrete random variables. This is still covering some of the background knowledge that you need to know for exercise 8.1. So I'll get straight into it. Just before we looked at conditional probability, now I'll just go over tree diagrams again, because tree diagrams are really quite useful for us understanding how to do probability questions. Here's just a standard tree diagram for two coins that are tossed, and I've got all of the different outcomes that could happen. The first coin is a head or a tail. The probability of each one is given up here, a half and a half, and I've got the probability of the second coin. It can either be a head or a tail, or if the first one's a head or a tail if the first one was a tail. And the probabilities are there. And if I wanted to get two heads, then it would be I multiply across, a half times a half. If I wanted to get a head and a tail, a half times a half, so on and so forth. Now, all of the sub branches need to add up to 1. Like here, half plus a half needs to add up to 1, and half plus a half needs to add up to 1. And when I get all of the outcomes at the edges, it also needs to add up to 1 as well. So because these are all the possible outcomes that can happen. Okay. Remember, another thing that you need to think about from last year, or you just need to be aware of, is that the idea of the combinations, or the amount of different combinations that you can make giving a number of items, and the order doesn't really matter. So, for example, ABA and AAB are exactly the same idea, okay, same thing. So, do you remember this NCR from other years? N is the total number of items, R is the number of items chosen. And NCR is equal to n factorial, and n factorial is just n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 all the way down to until we get to 1. So 10 times 9 times 8 times 7, or whatever it is. N factorial over n minus r factorial r factorial. Now you don't really need to use this in other examples like circles and all of those sorts of things that you did last year, but we do need to understand this for something later on that we'll do called the binomial distribution. Okay, so you do need to know a little bit about this one. Okay, so that's pretty much it in terms of the background knowledge. I think there are a couple of other things that might come up later on, but we'll get to those in just a little bit. So the next video we'll look at discrete random variables. So thanks for watching.